Generations. Each generation adds a chapter to the story of a farming or ranching venture, of birth and loss, of sun and soil. We do well to remember.
I'm a fourth-generation farmer. My great-grandparents came here from Germany right after World War II, and this was the same land that they farmed. And to me, heritage is everything.
The glint of a dream grows from days of youth.
When we were little kids, you see those sand bluff over there. We used to jump off the top of it. That's what ranch and farm kids get to do. They get to, they create their own Disney World.
And generations plant new hope for sons and daughters to come. So comes the newest class of America's best young farmers and ranchers, the 10th in a unique awards program. DTN Progressive Farmer is honored to introduce the Class of 2020. Zoe Nelson, Brooks Farms of Waupaca, Wisconsin. Brett Arnish of Mark Arnish Farms, Keensburg, Colorado. Braden Gibson of Gibson Farms, Dumas, Texas. Mike Jackson, Jackson Farms of Oskaloosa, Iowa. Russell Schurmeyer, Schurmeyer Farms of Bruno, Idaho. Here are their stories. Zoe Nelson has a favorite place on Brooks Farms in Wisconsin.
I think we're in it. My favorite place here on the farm is our calf barn. This was kind of my pet project when I returned to the farm back in 2015. We needed a new calf facility. We were starting to expand our herd, and I was in charge of heading up this project, building it to suit our needs.
As a female manager, Zoe feels a special calling in the dairy industry.
Women are taking on those leadership roles. They are managers. They are managing teams of employees. They are running equipment. They are running crop acres and crop plans. Here on our farm, we have people driving in every day, whether it's our nutritionists, our agronomists, sales representatives, and they're all female. They bring a unique, fresh perspective in, and I think that helps farmers innovate and be able to try new ideas and try to look at things from a different point of view.
Do millennials and farming mix? This Wisconsin millennial says yes.
I think millennials bring in a unique viewpoint to the world of ag. We've brought in, from what I've seen most, is the technology factor. And that on our farm here has moved us leaps and bounds into the future from where we were before. You have pros and cons. Millennials get a bad rep out there sometimes, but I think farm kids are the exception where we know how to work. And not just maybe working harder, but working smarter. I think that's something that millennials definitely bring to the table.
Colorado's Brett Harnish is also a millennial. He believes his generation will blaze a new path in agriculture.
Being a millennial farmer is a neat but yet daunting task at the same time. There's not very many of us out there, and not very many farm families are having their son or daughters come back. And so for me, I feel that I need to blaze a path and show that farming isn't the same as it used to be. There's a lot of technology, there's new waves, there's new niches. There's a lot of exciting things going on in ag, and I really want my generation to know.
Brett is building a new position on his family farm.
So my job is that I specialize in data comprehension. And in a nutshell, that means a lot of time spent on the computer. But what it really means in the field is understanding what our cost per acre is and what our return on investment is. So this is somewhat of a new position, and not very many people completely understand what my role is, and even people on our own farm. But moving into the future, by seeing the true numbers at the end of the year, I think that will start to swing and the momentum will start to shift to where my position isn't the rare one.
Russell Schurmeyer uses the Idaho sun to move his water and manage his irrigation costs.
So solar panels is a method to really hit efficiency on the farm. We've done a lot of things with radio control on the pivots. We've run VFDs. We're really trying to push the maximum efficiency of getting that water from the Snake River to the field with the least amount of money. The solar panels were kind of the next step to that, to where we're utilizing the sun in areas that we're not farming concentrating that energy in order to help offset the cost it takes to pump that water. So we've got 8 sites of 100 kW, which nameplates up to 800 kW, just under a megawatt of power. And that offsets about 65 to 70% of my pressurization costs on my farm.
Russell was trained as an engineer, but he and his wife Carly chose life on the farm, where they are raising 3 country girls.
Well, Carly and I have been able to raise a family out here, which has been a really unique situation, and it's really neat to let kids be kids and grow in the dirt and climb on tractors. The biggest parts of this is having those girls out here and raising them as farmers so that they can move on to the world and do whatever they want, but have that background as a farmer. That's something I think is going to be instrumental in becoming good people.
Meet Farmer Mike. That would be Mike Jackson of Oskaloosa, Iowa.
I think outreach into the community is very important. The local school here in Oskaloosa, the 5th grade class knows me as Farmer Mike. I've visited with them multiple times via Skype. We were able to walk through the hog buildings, we were able to walk through the cornfield, and then at the end of that year I was able to go and dig up one of those corn plants and take that corn plant in and show it to the students to see what that little seed turned into.
Mike enjoys telling visitors the story of John and John Deere.
And one of my favorite pictures from the past is a picture of my great-grandpa, Ralph Beach, and a picture with him and his 2 horses. My dad talks about how he could drop the reins on that old workhorse John and the horse would continue to walk straight. And then you fast forward today to modern times where I don't drop the reins, I push a button in my tractor and the tractor will turn and drive straight for me. He started with the original auto steer and now I'm using the same electronic version.
Braden Gibson is experimenting with a way to raise cattle on irrigated grass in Texas.
It's not your typical Western cattle environment, but we do feel like we're keeping condition well on the cows. The stocking rates on this for our part of the world is about a cow to the acre. Not heard of around here. We usually stock around a cow to 25 acres. I'm pretty proud of this, and this is new. This is new to us. This is 3 months old.
Braden works with his son Cutler nearly every day. It's a special relationship that grows from farming.
Working with my son, I think, is one of the major benefits of being involved in agriculture and in a family business. Not everybody can take their kid to work every day in everything you do, school, athletics, and hopefully in return, your career that you choose later on in life.
And how could any day, any awards program, end without a story of Texas football? Braden has a farmer friend who is from a state where SEC football, like farming, is a way of life.
Well, I have a friend in Alabama who is a Auburn Tigers fan. I'm not getting in on that, so we won't go there. We're just from Texas and we're Red Raider fans, and we don't want any fights.
So goes the generations. Rain and sun. Success. Wisdom built on all that went before. Tomorrow moves through the air, but the dirt is always in their hands. These are America's best young farmers and ranchers. If you are interested in DTN Progressive Farmers America's Best Young Farmers and Ranchers program, email dan.miller@dtn.com. To learn more about this class of 2020, go to dtnpf.com.